We see that a person's whole life experience is all about learning to navigate to his soul along the divine progress points, leading him to the very throne of God. All this magnificent training and experience is designed to create the eternal teachers of tomorrow, as the new kingdom will have 7 specially created career fields. Out of the many career fields of God and man, experience comes to teach the purpose of life to the new growing babies of future generations. This new hope for a bright future unites the expectations of God with the hopes of man as they commit themselves to working together to build a glorious kingdom of eternal perfection. This teaching will explain God's eternal professions, revealing that human institutions of our present society have been designed to fit into the Lord's master scheme of future events. The creation of light brings forth the profession and responsibilities of teacher, where a person overcomes pride, producing dignity. The divine lesson plan of God here is the pathway of perfection. This produces mastery of holiness, establishing and strengthening belief in our Lord. The institution here is education. The creation of earth brings forth the professions and responsibilities of king and priest, where a person overcomes avarice. The divine lesson plan of God here is the kingship and priesthood. This produces mastery of just rule, establishing and strengthening trust in the Lord. The institution here is government. The creation of water brings forth the profession and responsibilities of fishermen, where a person again overcomes avarice. The divine lesson plan of God here is the evangelization of man. This produces mastery of the Holy Word, establishing and strengthening faith in the Lord. The institution here is business and industry. The creation of plants brings forth the profession and responsibilities of farmer, where a person will overcome anger, producing moderation. The divine lesson plan of God here is nourishment of humanity. This produces mastery of holy bread and wine, establishing and strengthening their connection to the will of God. The institution here is agriculture. The creation of animals brings forth the profession of and responsibilities of shepherd, where a person overcomes envy, producing sharing. The divine lesson plan of God here is guiding hand of truth. This produces mastery of divine order, establishing and strengthening obedience to God. The institution here is finance. The creation of man brings forth the profession and responsibilities of carpenter, where a person overcomes sloth, producing diligence. The divine lesson plan of God here is builder of kingdoms. This produces mastery of creation, establishing and strengthening self-control. The institution here is manufacturing. The creation of rest brings forth the profession and responsibilities of servant, where a person overcomes lust, producing love. The divine lesson plan of God here is birth of humanity. This produces mastery of love, establishing and strengthening virtues before God. The institution here is transportation. Lastly, the creation of new light brings forth the profession and responsibilities of slave and son, where a person overcomes death, producing life. The divine lesson plan of God here is living prayer of God. This produces mastery of sonship, establishing and strengthening friendship of God. The institution here is operations.
These 8 eternal divine and human professions create an organized society in heaven and on earth. It shows that God is seeking the fruits of the free-willed human spirit, and that the future generations will not be purified by the effects of sin, evil, and death. So how will they be properly tested, judged, and evaluated? We see that through his testing, judgment, and evaluation, a person can achieve righteousness, holiness, and perfection in the sight of God. The Lord knows that future mankind will be made up from the holy bloodlines of the children of saints who have distinguished themselves in the eyes of God. All future holy people will be products of perfect free-willed spirits that can no longer be defiled by the worldly temptations of Satan or the tests of Lucifer. This concept applies the logic where a racehorse breeder first establishes a line of thoroughbreds to bring forth a winning set of champions. This is done by creating a royal line passing along the best qualities of the breed from generation to generation until a breeder gets that most special quality of perfection needed to give birth to a perfect racehorse. This means that among God's future chosen people, everyone is good by his own free will, because he automatically knows the difference between right and wrong as a part of his fine breeding and proper rearing.